Coming up next, boys high school basketball on your sports leader in Lorain, WLCS TV 20.
And again, welcome into the gym here at Lorain High School as we get set for the starting lineups on the court. Let's go ahead and take a look at them for you. And to be honest with you, I'm going to have to kind of struggle and follow along with the PA announcer. They didn't announce them early, and I'm not quite sure why. But we'll go ahead and take care of it for you at any rate. For the Rhodes Rams, Isaiah Washington will take the starting lineup this afternoon, and certainly he's going to be one of the guys that they're going to look for to run the show. He's a freshman averaging 7.8 points per game. They're also going to start Mario Lawson, a junior forward, 9.5 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. So, also another one of those bigs that can contribute in this ball game. Nobody truly stands out other than the one young man that we're not quite sure about. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and suit him up and get him starting this evening as well. It'll be Jaquise Adkins, 10.8 points per game as a junior. George Garcia, 4.5 points per game. He's their defensive specialist. And rounding out the starting lineup, Deontay Stewart, 16.4 points per game, 11 rebounds and 3 assists. He's the young man that was questionable coming into the ball game on this particular evening. We weren't quite sure if we were going to see him or not. But for the Titans, rounding out their starting lineup, Eddie Williamson, the point guard, is really going to run the show. 6 points per game, 2.23 rebounds per game. Devon Heisel, 9.4 points per game as a senior, 1.4 rebounds per game. Devon Andrews just having a whale of a season. Talked about him a little bit ago. 16.9 points per game. Gerald Howard, 6.9 points per game, 6 rebounds per game as a senior forward, 6'3", and then Rashad Berry. A nice stat line here. Almost 7 rebounds per game, 10.5 points per game as a 6'4" junior. And he's already getting D1 offers. Not questions, not looks. He's getting offers. And that's a pretty doggone impressive thing. And the question will be, what will he do? Where is he going to go? And what's he going to do when he gets there? What he's going to do right now is he's going to jump the ball up in the middle of the court. For our radio audience, Titans moving left to right across your digital tuner. Everybody joining us on WLCS, good to have you along there as well. Early tip controlled by Berry, leaves it forward, and a quick basket for Andrews as he takes it right to the hole. Devon took that long tip from Berry and just laid it in. Too easy early on. There's Washington with the ball, goes behind his back for Rhodes, gets tied up by his opposite number. Eddie Williamson said, I want a hold of that. Alternate possession's going to stay with Rhodes on their offensive end, but that's almost as good as a turnover a little bit later in the ball game. Washington will slap it, get it in quickly. 3 ball off the left corner. That one no good. Rebound comes down to the Titans. They're going to turn it right back over. Washington goes through the lane, goes off the glass, and gets his first deuce of the ball game. Williamson will work up court. Drops it off to the right side. Heisel outside the arc, gets it back out top. Andrews wants to clear there, backs away, finds Williamson left wing. Thought about the 3 for just a second. The flashing high was Howard. He'll back off and try to repost. Andrews will pop out. Top of the key. Big guy will fire one. That one no good for Berry. Rebound's going to stay with Howard. He'll kick it back out for the Titans. They'll swing it around to the left wing, down to the left baseline. Berry works inside, kicks it out. Pump fake from there. Heisel steps in, 14-footer, no. Long rebound. Going to be controlled by Rhodes. That's going to be Garcia getting out at it. Gets into Washington in the middle of the lane. He can't get the shot to fall there. Rebound ripped down by Howard. Finds Williamson. Bounce pass ahead. Finds Berry along the right baseline. A little too tall on that shot. Rebound still falling loose. And the officials are going to say Lorain ball. Will stay on that end of things. 2-2 with 6:40 left in the first quarter. A lot of shots going up for the Titans. Not so much for Rhodes early on. That may be the story of this ball game if the Titans can start hitting them. They'll pull out pretty quickly here. Heisel well outside the arc on the right wing. Berry's going to clear out top, send it to Williamson at the left elbow, leaves it back. They'll swing it back to the right baseline. Heisel, 3 ball, got it. Going to give him that much space. He's going to put it up almost every time. Washington back with the ball. He's going to get it off to Stewart. That's going to be his first touch. He's going to try to work toward the lane, mishandles, and sends it packing out of bounds. Coach Louis Moore stands up and says, hey, just slow down. Take it easy. Williamson now will just walk it over for the Titans. It's one of the things that he brings to this club for the Titans in particular. He'll know when to push, and he'll know when to sit back with it. Heisel drops it off left baseline. Andrews works into the lane, sends it back outside. Williamson bounce pass goes right back to Devon. Circus shot, scoops it, flips it up behind his head and in. He's got 4, and that makes it 7-2 in favor of the Titans early on. Washington cuffs the ball, tries to pass it toward the baseline. Nobody home. Sends it out of bounds. Struggle early on for Rhodes to get a decent look. Williamson looks over at Coach John Rossitano. Coach Rossitano says motion, get everybody moving through. There you go. Williamson will pop out after going toward the baseline. They'll send it all the way around. Heisel outside the arc, right side. Bounce pass goes into Andrews. One dribble, goes up strong, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for a couple. Foul's going to be whistled on Jaquise Adkins, his first, team first. I'd love to tell you exactly how tall these guys are and what year they're in, or actually how tall they are and what position they theoretically play. That's not on the Rhodes roster. Devon Andrews hits the free throw. He's got 5, he has 1 more coming to him as well. 8-2 lead in favor of the Titans, 5:24 left in the first quarter. He'll hit both of those free throws, and that'll certainly help the effort if the Titans can stay steady from the charity stripe. Here comes Washington across the timeline. Going to be met there potentially by a trap. Williamson's got him tied up pretty good, facing a 5 count, and a foul's going to be called. Nope, 30-second timeout. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I thought they got one of the Rhodes players for a 3-second call, but it'll be a 30-second timeout. Hey, I want to remind everybody, coming up at halftime for our radio audience, our North Coast Gastroenterology halftime show, which will include our Buckeye Community Bank stats presentation. That's coming up at halftime. Also want to remind everybody, new addition to our radio stations, AM 1320 WOBL and the Cool Cat 1380, the Jim Allen Sports Report, 3 times every day on each station. Catch it in the morning around your drive into school, catch it at noon, or around about noon, and then catch it in the evening as well. So Jim Allen, Sports Reports, we're happy to have him along on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back to the action now. Rhodes will get the ball in. They'll drop it off. Adkins into the lane, spins, tries to find a 5-footer, does so actually. Not a great looking shot, but if it goes in the hole right now for Rhodes, you'll take it. Andrews out top between the circles, finds Williamson on the left wing, works off the screen, had a roller that time. Howard did a nice job with the screen and the roll. Williamson just didn't see him off the left side of the lane. Andrews along the left baseline, spots from about 12, that one no good, and a travel's going to be called that time, and that's the injury showing up right there. Deontay Stewart had the rebound, no question, just couldn't plant on that bad ankle. Andrews inbounds, finds Heisel. Sends it out top. Barry at the right elbow. Finds Williamson outside the left wing. They'll pop it down to the baseline again. Andrews is going to be fouled. It'll be Lorain high ball out underneath their own hoop. Foul's going to be whistled on Mario Lawson. That's going to be his first team second. 4:34 left in the first quarter. 9-4 in favor of Lorain High. Heisel off the inbounds pass outside the arc. Gets it back out top to Williamson. You got to understand, the Titans are going to play a lot of this game with the ball outside the arc. Not necessarily that they want to shoot out there, although they're not going to be shy about that. It'll open up the lane for their bigs to make their plays there. Barry thought about the 3 for a second, reholstered it, find Andrews along the block, puts up the shot, nice looking shot, swats the ball out of bounds. He's got 8. And here comes some full court pressure from the Titans. Rhodes will get it forward, and that's the big fella, Adkins. Foul's going to be called away from the ball. And that one's going to be on the Titans. They're going to get Barry his first, team first. Subs coming into the ballgame. Nazir Bohannon comes into the ballgame for Lorain High, as does Davier Andrews. Andrews with 10 points a game, and really has had that impact on the varsity Titans since midway through the season. There's a shot off the right side. You can see Stewart couldn't even elevate there, but he's given it the try, that's for sure. Andrews finds Barry. Barry works underneath, and foul's going to be called that time as Bohannon wants to go up strong with it. He'll go to the line and see if he can produce there. Foul's going to be called on Stewart. That'll be his first, team third. And you can tell how much Stewart means to this team by the fact that he's on the court and struggling as much as he is. Bohannon's first is good. And another one coming his way, and John Rossitano and one of the officials chit-chatting a little bit. Coach making sure he's in the box. That's an emphasis here. You're going to get a foul on the floor here. Actually, you're going to get a lane violation on Rhodes. You're going to get another look at the shot. One of the emphasis here in the postseason is the officials going to make sure that the coaches are in the box. And if you're familiar with John Rossitano throughout his career, those lines on the court mean much of nothing. And second is good. And that's not a shot at the coach. I like John. If he listens later, I'm sure he'll chuckle. At least I hope he will. 9-point difference now, 13-4 in favor of Lorain High. There's a turnover. It'll be Andrews taken away, wants to push, leaves it in the middle. Bohannon spins. High shot, in and out, no. Rebound tipped around and still loose. He picked up by Bohannon again, goes to the rack, lays it off. That one no good. Rebound comes down to Stewart, will head the other way. Titans got to just kind of make it a little bit simpler and just go straight up with it. 3 ball on the way from Garcia. That one no good for Rhodes. Rebound comes down to Bohannon. Williamson quickly forward. Andrews wants to go to the rack, has the ball taken away by Stewart and out of bounds. Subs will come in for the Titans. Heisel comes back into the ball game, as does Gerald Howard. A little bit smaller lineup here for the Titans. Wrapping up the early part of this first quarter. 3:19 left in the first quarter. Howard breaks free back by midcourt. He's going to get the inbounds pass and then hand it off to Williamson. Right side is Heisel. Back out top. They'll reset. Couple of low posts now. Actually, everybody on the low post. Howard will pop out, send it to the right side. Heisel in rhythm, drains it. He's got 6, and it makes it 16-4 early on. Almost another takeaway. Heisel going up for it. Ball tipped back. It's going to be controlled by Bohannon. Goes back to Heisel. Sends it back out top. Javier Andrews to the right side. Williamson. Heisel again. Long 3 ball off to the left side. Ball tipped around. It's going to be picked up by Adkins. Adkins is going to push for Rhodes. Going to take it to the rack. Good looking take by the big feller. Missed the layup, and here's a run out for the Titans. They've got a 4-on-2. They'll leave it back. Andrews layup, no. Long rebound heading the other way. Mario Lawson with the ball. Mishandles. Adkins into the lane. He's going to try again. Scoops it up with the left hand and in. Adkins got 4 of the 6 points for Rhodes. Lorain's making it too tough on themselves on those fast break opportunities. Baseline, they'll send it all the way across. Heisel back out top. Williamson will step just inside the arc, leave that long jumper a little bit short. Rebound comes down to Garcia. We'll go the other way. Isaiah Washington out top. Williamson's going to D him up with 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Tries to go to the left side. Ball taken away by Javier Andrews. Andrews on the push. Scoops it up. Got it and one. Javier Andrews wanted to get rid of that, got himself up into the air, really didn't have a choice, and ended up having to drop it in on his own. Foul whistled on George Garcia, and I call him George. It's spelled Jorge, but they pronounce it George on the sideline, so that's what I'm going with. Andrews has 2, and an opportunity for 3, and an opportunity to extend this lead pretty big early on in this one, and he does exactly that. He's got 3 now, makes it 19-6 with 1:52 left. Long outlet pass, or inlet pass rather. He's going to find Adkins. He's going to go to the rack again and mishandles it. He's not happy about that. Thought perhaps it went off of the Titans. He'll trot down to the other end here and try to set up defensively. Still frustrated. The Titans will bring it out on their own here. John Rossitano says motion, run it through. So you have the guards popping off out of the low screens. Howard's going to set a screen for Heisel. Wanted to go back to him on the roll. Sends it to the right side. Heisel straight on. Thought about the 3. Javier Andrews looks left. Nice bounce pass inside. Give him the assist and give Howard the hoop. Boy, that was just a quality pass. This game could get out of hand here pretty quickly for Rhodes if they don't start putting the ball in the hoop at some point. There's Stewart on the drive. Bounce pass to Adkins. He'll mishandle it again. It'll go out of bounds. Devon Andrews comes back into the ball game. Williamson's going to go out. Now, the tough part of this for the Titans, I mean, you really want to see them early on in this tournament be pushed a little bit. Easy games are great. They're fine, but Boy, you want to get yourself ready because down the road you're going to have some pretty good competition. Hopefully Rhodes will step their game up here a little bit. By the way, Tommy Scott came into the ball game for Rhodes at some point. I missed calling him in. Shot missed down at the other end by the Titans. Rebound comes down. Here's Rhodes on the push. They'll find the young man we just talked about, has his shot blocked by Andrews. And here's a run out. Andrews on the push, takes 3 guys to the rack, shows it, brings it back, puts it up and in. Oh boy. Well, when it works, it works. There's no question about that. 23-6 now in favor of Lorain High. Stewart out top, tried to clear out and create some space. Howard D'ing him up, and he's going to get called for a travel. We'll head the other way. Right now, Louis Moore along that Rhodes sideline kind of shaking his head saying, guys, I can't get out there and do it for you. You just got to hold on to the ball. Titans will just walk the ball up now. Taking the point, going to be Devon Andrews. He'll bounce pass it left side. Xavier Harrison with the touch. Javier gets it back to Devon. He'll back out and try to clear out here with 9-8-7. Goes between his legs, hesitates into the lane, floats one up, almost in. Rebound comes out. Stewart's going to get that, forces it downfield. Scott's not going to get the shot off in time. So the first quarter is going to end with the Titans ahead by a bunch, 23-6 over the Rhodes Rams. We'll step away, take a little bit of a break. When we come back, second quarter action right here on the Cool Cat 1380, Lorain County Sports Network and WLCS TV 20.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Lefebvre, and this is Johnny. We're working with Best Friends Animal Society to stop the suffering of millions of breeding dogs in puppy mills who supply puppies to pet stores. You can help too, by not adding to the demand for pet store puppies. When searching for your next best friend, do what I did. Adopt. Don't shop. Let a shelter dog like Johnny steal your heart.
To the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the USO is home. The USO depends on the generosity of the American people. Donate today at USO.org.
8 more minutes up on the clock here at Lorain High School, and the Titans, it may be early to say this, but they're on cruise control at the moment, 23-6 over Cleveland Rhodes. Only 2 guys in the book here for Rhodes, and neither one of them is their leading scorer, Dariante Stewart, who's valiantly trying to stay on the court today for the Rams. Titans on the alternate possession going to have the ball. Remember that tie-up first possession for Rhodes. Williamson got in there, and that's pretty much his possession to start things off here in this second quarter. Titans continue to play outside. They'll run their post guys through. Barry wants the high, drops it to the low. Howard there, sends it back out to Andrews. They'll swing it around. Starting lineup on the court now, looks like for both squads. Heisel thought about the 3, steps around his defender, finds Williamson, left side. Devon Andrews, 3-ball, got it. Andrews has showed up. He's in double figures already with 11. 20-point lead for the Titans. Adkins working up court. Barry's going to check him up. He's going to go to the rack anyway. Andrews will swat that one away. That's some good help defense there. If you've got Devon Andrews back there playing at full potential. Heisel at the other side fires up a 3-ball off the left wing. That one no good. Rebound's going to come down to Rhodes. Spinning into the lane was Washington. Has it poked away. They'll leave it back. Oh boy, almost a dunk attempt that time for Howard. Got the little shovel pass from Andrews, and they're going to call the foul and send the big guy to the line. That would have been something fierce. That might have broken the backboard. He had some bad intentions for that one. Foul whistled on Jaquise Adkins, rather. That's going to be his second, team 5th. Boy, I wish I would have seen that one go down. Boy, oh boy. Barry, that's actually his first point of the ball game from the charity stripe as he drains the first one. He has one more coming his way. Makes it a 21-point lead, and the official comes over and talks to Coach Rossitano again. I'm not quite sure what that's about. He's been over there a couple different times. Heading the other way, another takeaway by Heisel. Gets it right back to Williamson. Heisel on the right side has a 3-ball attempt. Nope, going to go to the drive. Mishandles and sends it out of bounds. Actually chasing it out of bounds. Goes into the lobby just outside the gym and then reappears. It was a great steal on the full court pressure, but you've got to hold on to the ball. Stewart's going to get it in. That'll be Tommy Scott. Then back to Stewart, and he'll just trot up court. Howard's going to check him up at about the volleyball line. Let him get across the timeline to the other volleyball line, and then a reach is called. And I tell you, that not the best foul there by Gerald Howard for a couple different reasons. Number one, it wasn't overly aggressive. Number two, there's doing it way too far away from the hoop. Adkins will handle the inbounds here for Rhodes. He'll slap it, wait for somebody to come to him. He'll finally find Scott and then get it right back. Wants to wave people off. Wants to go to work, spins into the lane, shovels that shot up. No, rebound Stewart. He's going to get fouled, and that one's going to be on Barry, I believe. If that's the case, it's going to be his second. That is the case. His second, team third. That'll bring a sub back into the ball game. Gerald Howard's going to come in. Barry's going to sit down. Isaiah Washington, the inbounds, gets it to Stewart. He has his pocket pick. Long outlet pass goes to Heisel. He'll just pick it up and lay it in. Well, the Titans playing great defensively, and it's turning into a boatload of points in transition. Rhodes going to need to get this one in to avoid the 5-second count. They finally do so. They'll work up court. With the ball out there was Lawson going inside. Adkins, no. Couple different Titans taking a swipe at that one before Adkins is fouled. Foul's going to be whistled on Nazir Bohannon. That'll be his first, team fourth. Keith Adkins at the line. Adkins averaging 11 points a ball game and 11 rebounds. Seems like he's kind of taken on some of the load from Dariante Stewart. Missed the first one, hit the second one. That'll give him 5 in the ball game. We'll head the other way. Williamson straight up between the circles. Man defense by Rhodes, but it's not overly now. It may not be a man. They may be switching through a 1-3-1, but it's really loose. Williamson to the right side. Heisel. Not a lot of movement off the ball for the Titans right now. They'll get Andrews all isolated on the left side of the court. He'll go to the rack, go up, can't hit the shot, gets fouled in the process. Foul's going to be called on Mario Lawson. That's going to be his second, and then the two boys have a little something to say to each other. I'm sure they're exchanging recipes, email addresses and such. Devon Andrews misses the first one. He's got 11 in the ball game. Another one coming his way. 5:37 left in the first half. Andrews will put the second one up and in. And sub coming into the ball game. Andrews with 12 points and a 30-second timeout coming off the Titan bench. Coming into the ball game will be Davier Andrews. I'll remind everybody you can catch this game later if you like. All of our radio broadcasts are simulcast and archived at LorainCounty.com. So just set your browser to LorainCounty.com. You can add the /WDLW. Catch the rebroadcast of this one later. You can also catch it, happy to say, on WLCS TV 20. Happy to be working with Joe Bach tonight, bringing you all the action. So you Lorain High fans can check this one out on TV 20. Not sure when that'll be up. Joe will have that out for you if you're catching all of his tweets. Staying up to date with all the scores and all the activities here in Lorain. He does a great job making sure everybody knows what's going on with that. Back to the action here. Rhodes with the ball following the 30-second timeout coming off the Lorain High bench. Adkins working across the top. Wants to go to work against Bohannon. Needs a little bit of help. Finds Washington. Heisel's going to D him up. They'll slip it down the left side. That'll be Scott outside the arc, looking inside. Pump fake, then spins to the block. High shot, probably altered there. Bohannon with the rebound, gets it out quickly. Davier Andrews pushes toward the baseline. Heisel will pop outside the arc. Work off the screen from Howard. He's there on the roll. Nice power dribble. Nice shot inside. Howard now with 4, and it's 32-7 in favor of the Titans. Under 5 minutes left in this first half. Stewart out top, wants to create, tries to send it down to the baseline, finds Adkins, pump fake, goes up off the glass, rolls it off, rebound, battled for, and it's going to be Lorain high ball. Ricardo Prince is going to come into the ball game for Rhodes, and coming back into the game, George Garcia. Sitting down will be Scott and Ariante Stewart. .4:42 left in this first half. Williamson will work it to the left side and Heisel. Howard's going to go out and give him a screen and then roll again. Heisel will just pop the three ball. Defender laid off of him. He's going to stay that far back. He's going to drill it. That's going to give him 11 in the ball game. 35-7 now in favor of the Titans. Working up court, some new energy from Ricardo Price. Gets himself into a double team along the near sideline. Sends it packing. The Rossitano clan sitting down on the corner down there. There you go. Had a chance to get into the ball game. Right side will go for the Titans, back on their offensive end, down toward the baseline. Bohannon sends it back out top. Williamson looking at Heisel on the left side, not going to find him, spins away from pressure. Javier Andrews down to the baseline. Bohannon, Williamson back out top, bounce pass, kicked away. It's going to stay with Lorain high, and Williamson said, hey, next time I'm going to go over the top, just be ready for it. You can see him just kind of making that gesture, or he's telling Heisel, get ready for a shot, you're going to be there. Javier Andrews back out top. The Titans have slowed things down considerably here, latter part of this second quarter. I don't know if it's out of a gesture of sportsmanship or they just want to work on some other things. Inside will go Howard's going to spin away from pressure. It's going to end up right back in the hands of Heisel. Gets it back out top to Williamson. Wanted to swing it to the right side. Javier Andrews wasn't there. Williamson bounce pass to the left baseline. Three ball on the way from Heisel. Misses everything. Foul's going to be called underneath. And that one's going to be whistled on Nazir Bohannon. Bohannon, the 6'3" freshman. That'll be his second foul, team foul number 5. Xavier Harrison's going to come back into the ball game, as is Devon Andrews. Devon already with 12 points in the ball game. All I can tell you is that when I played, that was like my high ball game once. 3 minutes left. There goes Adkins with an awkward shot down underneath. The Titans are going to bail him out. He got himself way under the hoop, tried to reach back and throw it in. Foul's going to be whistled on Harrison, his first, team 6th. 3:19 left in the first half. Both teams will be shooting from here on. Jaquise Adkins, 5 points in the ball game to lead Rhodes. He's got 5 of their 7. They get 6 of their 8. And in these first 4 minutes and 41 seconds, Rhodes has only been able to score 2 points. They missed that free throw. Rebound comes down to Bohannon. Gets it off to Devon Andrews. Andrews across midcourt, hesitates out there. Williamson right side. Javier Andrews along the baseline. Kicks it down there. Xavier Harrison's going to work away from pressure, not going to fight it. Gets it back out top. Williamson direct in traffic. He'll back off, get everybody in the right place, and reset the offense. Works to the right elbow. Javier back out top. Williamson, couple dribbles, sends it off to Devon. 2:53 left in this first half. Devon's going to run the point now. Goes between his legs, bounce pass to Williamson. Little floater off the left baseline, left it short. Sky and high for that one. Devon Andrews tips it in. I don't know how he touched that one. It was still way up there. Isaiah Washington with the ball is going to lose the handle on it. It's going to be picked up by the Titans. Fast break opportunity. Andrews from Andrews. Javier scores. Devon gets the assist. That'll give him 7, and the lead continues to extend here for the Titans with 2:20 left in the first half. Left side, Isaiah Washington and sub set to come into the ball game here for the Titans when we get a little bit of a break. Garcia at the top, drops it off to Adkins, fakes left, goes right, goes up, gets fouled, and is going to go to the line again. Foul whistle on Harrison. That's going to be his second, team 7th. First free throw is a no-go that time for Adkins. Actually, I checked that. That was good. I apologize. Correct that for you. Actually makes both of those. Just jotting myself a note there. I'm sorry I wasn't quite paying enough attention. That'll give him 8 points. And 2 minutes left. 39-10 now in favor of the Titans. And it could be a little bit worse. Left side, Jahil Moon. Get it back out top to Andrews, and then Davier Andrews. Devon cuts through the lane, sends it back out to Moon. He'll send it all the way across. That'll be a turnover. It's going to be picked up by Isaiah Washington. He's going to go to the right block at the other end. Go up for the shot, no. He'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to be whistled on Jahil Moon just into the ball game. Titans have sent Rhodes to the line a number of times, and truly, Rhodes just hasn't made him pay for it. First free throw was good that time for Washington. He's got 3 now. Another one coming his way. 1:38 left in the first half. Titan pep band rather, kind of filing back into the gym here. They'll light things up here at the half. Titans look like they're lighting things up on the court right now. 39-11 with less than a minute and a half left. Moon works it inside. They'll drop it down the baseline. Howard reverse and got it. With just good ball movement out top. And there's a delay of game warning, and I talked about that earlier at one point in the ball game. Titans just kind of pushed the ball after it went through. Well, they'll warn them again not to do that. Next time they're going to get slapped with a technical. Garcia on the right wing, gets it back out top to Washington for Rhodes. Atkins will set the screen. Washington spins into the lane, swatted away, picked up by Davier. He's going to leave it up, and there's a layup down at the other end. Devon finishes up very nicely. Andrews now with 16 in the ball game. I think Davier wanted to leave that one up for a dunk, just didn't get the timing quite right on it. 44 seconds left in this first half. Adkins wants to go to work, spots a 15-footer, leaves that one well short. Rebound comes down to Howard, gets it out to Davier. Davier wants to push to the right side. There's Harrison, stops and pops from 15, no. Devon, nice little shovel pass inside. Davier couldn't quite hold on to it, ended up going to Moon. Moon couldn't put it in, will head the other way. Oh boy, another big block. Garcia picks it up, tries to go up again for Rhodes, no. Devon working with Davier, tries to get it back to him, leaves it loose in the middle of the court, and the Titans just getting a little too showy right now, and a charge is going to be called down at the other end. Nice job that time setting up out on the block. Xavier Harrison. Foul's going to be whistled on Ricardo Prince. That'll be his first, team 7th. Offensive foul. It's not going to send anybody shooting. Devon Andrews picked the ball up past midcourt with 5 seconds on the clock. Works to the right side. Davier, 3 ball to close it out. No. The Titans comfortably ahead, 43-11 over the Rhodes Rams. Well, we're going to step away, take a little bit of a break. When we come back on the radio side of things, the North Coast Gastroenterology halftime show, including the Buckeye Community Bank stats. On the TV side, we'll be back for third quarter action right here on the Cool Cat 1380, the Lorain County Sports Network, and WLCS TV 20.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
McGruff the crime dog here. We've all heard of identity theft. Now I'm going to show you how those thieves do it. Watch. He's secretly photographing her credit card with his cell phone. Now watch. They pretend they have a package to deliver, and while they're trying to fit it in the mailbox, they're taking her credit card payments and other paid bills. To learn how to protect yourself from identity theft, go to weprevent.org. Keep your identity to yourself and help take a bite out of crime.
Right here in Lorain, the Titans on cruise control, 43-11 at the half. You'd like to say that the Rhodes Rams can make a run at these Titans. I'm just not quite sure that they have it in them. I don't think they have the guns right now. Going down the roster, you're looking junior, freshman, sophomore, junior, junior. Notice not one senior on that roster. Tough way to get into the postseason playing a pretty aggressive Lorain High squad, and I think they're taking their lumps today, but this may be a team to be reckoned with in the future, so we have to keep our eyes on Rhodes and those young guys as they mature into this system. On the alternate possession, Rhodes will have things off to start it off here in the second half. Washington working with Adkins out top, wants to go to work against Williamson. Does look like the starters for both squads on the court to get going here. Stewart into the lane, tries to drop it down to Adkins, gets a guy up in the air, and then scores the basket. So he's in double figures. He's got 10 of the team's 13 points. Pull up a little full court pressure here. Williamson crossover. They'll send it to the right side. Heisel back out to Williamson. Left side, Devon Andrews. Down to the baseline, and Barry works inside. Nice take, great ball movement. Gerald Howard's going to benefit from that one. He'll have his 8th point of the ball game. All 5 guys from Lorain touched it on that offensive possession. Wasn't a dunk, but okay. That's off air. I was talking about the fact that I want to see the rim rattled a little bit here the second half. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I can wish. Mario Lawson drops it down to Atkins, spins into the lane, puts the shot up, and got it. He's pretty much a one-man wrecking crew for the Rams right now. Ball was touched by Stewart going out of bounds. You might have heard the clank as the ball hit the scorer's table. Andrews will inbound it somewhat lackadaisically to Williamson, but not a lot of pressure out there, so probably doesn't matter too much. Williamson bounce pass to Barry, popping out high was Howard, gets it off to Andrews. Heisel across the top, looking underneath, no one there. Barry thought about the 3. I'm kind of glad he didn't do that. He'll clear out the top. He wants to take a 15-footer straight on. I'm happy with that. Howard spins off the blocks, right-hand shot. No, he's going to get called for the player control foul. Must have hooked him on the backside. I didn't see it on the front side of the play. That'll be the first foul on the Titans here in this second half. Not quite a minute, or almost not quite 2 minutes, rather. I'm sorry. Into this third quarter. Washington's going to go to the rack. He's going to get fouled, and he'll go to the line again. And again, the Titans just sending Rhodes to the line repeatedly. That's going to be the first on Williamson, second team foul. It's probably one of the things that John Rossitano will talk to his guys about in his little post-game chat. As Isaiah Washington hits that one for his 4th point of the ball game. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse here, but I think there's probably, that's a big part of the discussion for the Titans after the game. This is what we can do better. Devon Andrews on the quick fast break going down. Barry into the lane, little floating jumper. That one wouldn't fall down. Andrews is going to pick up the rebound near midcourt after it's tipped a couple different times. Scoop pass goes to Barry just inside the arc. That shot comes up a little bit short. Rebound pulled down by Mario Lawson for Rhodes. Gets it off to Washington on the offensive end. He's on the left wing, sends it down to Garcia. Wants to work inside. Nothing doing there for Adkins. Barry is right there along with him. I think Barry's mission right now is not let him have another one inside. Adkins works inside again, leaves the shot short, gets his own tip. That one no good. A high tip that time from Lawson. His first points of the ball game. Only the 3rd man to score here for Rhodes. Titans with the ball in their offensive end. Williamson swings it around left side. Devon Andrews wants to go to work just inside the arc. Spots the jump shot. That one no good. A little flat and a little off the back of the rim. Washington going to work against Williamson. A lot of moves, but not picking up a lot of real estate in the process. Stewart will drive, works to the left wing, pops a jumper from about 14, gets it to fall in, and minor victory for Dariante. Going the other way, Devon Andrews wanted to get the ball to the big guy Barry underneath. Maybe an extra pass, one too many there. Ball knocked out of bounds. He's going to stay with the Titans. See what they come up with off this inbounds pass. Williamson outside the arc, clears everybody out. Heisel to the right side. Barry popping out top, 17-footer. Barry's taken like the last 3 or 4 shots. I wonder if the goal is to get him into the book. He's got just a point thus far in the ball game. 45-20 with 4:30 left. Sub will come into the ball game here for the Titans' next stoppage of play. Stewart works inside. Adkins on the outside. Waves Washington out. He's not going to be available. Stewart will pop out. Really not a threat to make a move right now. He's not got a lot of mobility. Tries to drop it inside. Garcia does so, and George Garcia is going to get his first 2 of the ball game. I'm waiting for a timeout coming off the Lorain High bench. Titans don't score here, and or Rhodes scores down at the other end again. I think Coach Rossitano will have something to say about that. Heisel between the circles, thought about the 3 for just a second. Andrews down to the baseline. Bohannon just in the ball game, finds Andrews again. That'll be a turnover. Be picked up by Bohannon. So scrap the turnover. Titans will keep control, but only because Rose didn't pick it up. Andrews, baseline drive, leaves it inside. Bohannon, nice little soft shot in the middle of the lane. Got it for his 4th point of the ball game. And there's a full timeout. And we'll take a little bit of a break as well with 3:35 left in the 3rd quarter. 47-22, the Titans over Rhodes. We'll be right back on the Cool Cat 1380 and the Lorain County Sports Network, as well as WLCS TV 20.
Sports are great for a kid's body. Steroids aren't. They can ruin tendons in legs and arms. Steroids can stunt bone growth and increase the chances of liver cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Steroids don't make great athletes. They destroy them. Talk to your kids. Need help? Get help. Visit drugfree.org.
John Rossitano wanted a timeout to talk to his Titans, so he took a full timeout. Part of the discussion, I'm sure, was, look, guys, we got to focus a little bit more here. At the same time, recognizing they don't need to drop any salt in the wound that's been opened up here, especially early on in that first half. 47-22 in favor of the Titans. 3:24 left in the 3rd quarter. There's Washington wanting to go to work against Williamson. He's going to tie him up again. Looks like there's going to be a tee. Looks like the very first play of the ball game when Williamson tied Washington up down at the other end of the court. Washington took exception and gave Williamson a shove. So we'll head down to the other end and shoot a couple of freebies. There's going to be Isaiah Washington with the tee. That's actually going to be his first foul. The tech is going to be his first. A little bit of frustration there, and you can kind of understand that. Made the long trip here. Showed up, and boy, just kind of having it taken to you. And Williamson's a strong young man. He gets a hold of the ball. He's going to hold on to it pretty well. Mon Heisel hits the first Tech free throw. He's got a dozen in the ball game now. By the way, credit to Williamson for not reacting when he got shoved. Real easy to get excited and jump up in somebody's face, and he didn't do that. So tip of the cap to that young man. I can't say that I know him, but everything I've heard about him has been positive. I've seen him at academic banquets. I mean, he seems like a kid that has his stuff together, and that's kind of nice to see. 3:13 left in the 3rd quarter, 49-22 in favor of the Titans. Williamson down to the left baseline. Bohannon there. Finds Barry at the top. He'll work into the paint. Misses that shot. Rebound tipped out. Another little shove pass from Williamson intended for Barry. Heading the other way. Adkins all the way. Mishandles the ball. It's going to go off of one of the Titans. Must have rubbed off the back of one of their jerseys and out of bounds into the Titan cheerleading squad. Not at that end of the court. 2:55 on the 3rd quarter clock. Bounce pass goes into Stewart. He mishandles and out of bounds. Well, the other way. And I keep talking about Dariante Stewart, and I kind of feel bad for the young man. He's out there trying. And he's obviously not at the top of his ball game, and I think it's frustrating him on a lot of different levels, and yet he's not stopped. So credit to him as well. Under 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Javier Andrews, left wing, gets it out top. Moon into the ball game. Williamson down to the baseline, and Bohannon. Little jumper off the right angle. No good that time for Harrison. Rebound comes down to Rhodes. Will go the other way. Washington with the ball, finds Stewart. Stewart hesitates out front, tries to take the drive, puts the shot up, and tipped out of bounds by Stewart. Will head the other way. Sub will come in. Ricardo Prince comes back into the ball game, averaging 4.4 points a game, 3 rebounds per game as a sophomore. That's part of this story. This is such a young Rhodes club. There's a foul out top. That one's going to be called on Washington, and all eyes are on that young man following the tech. So he's going to get close to somebody and get whistled for a foul. That'll be the second team foul on Rhodes. Williamson will go back to the 9-foot volleyball line behind midcourt. Now we'll work it up against that pressure. Javier Andrews well outside the angle, or the elbow rather, drops it inside. Bohannon will turn from about 8, misses that one. Adkins rebound, wants to push for Rhodes. He's going to take it himself, has his pocket pick. Javier Andrews, then he gets bumped. That one's going to be whistled on Ricardo Prince, and not a terrible foul there by Prince on a couple different counts. Number one, the ball was coming at him, and he was moving toward it. There was nothing he could do to stop, and frankly, if he wouldn't have committed the foul, that was another fast break run out for the Titans. That kind of works for him either way. Williamson will work off the screen from Bohannon. Switch out top. They'll go to the right side. Javier Andrews thought about shooting it. Moon will get it on the right wing. Send it down toward the baseline. That'll be Harrison. Harrison bounce pass inside. Bohannon and a deuce. Good pass from Harrison into Bohannon. A couple of the bigs out there playing catch and producing. Garcia down at the other end. Spots a 3-ball off the left baseline. Gets that one to fall. He's got 5 now. 51-25 in favor of the Titans. Oh boy, I tell you what, tough pass there from Javier Andrews. Tried to find Bohannon. Bohannon, good effort trying to tap it back into him. Couldn't quite get there. Ends up throwing it out of bounds. Sub into the ball game. Kevin Davis comes into the ball game for the Titans. You'll see some subs coming through. Back into the ball game for Rhodes. Stewart and Adkins will. No, I thought Adkins was sitting down. Check that, he's not. Washington to the right side finds Garcia. He'll be tracked down by Harrison. Drops to the baseline. Stewart, Adkins inside, going to work against Bohannon. Pump fake, power move, shot partially blocked. Rebound's going to come down to the Titans, and they're going to turn it right back over. Javier Andrews going out of bounds. Must have stepped out of bounds, trying to save that one back in. Tried to bounce it off Adkins' legs. No dice there, so it'll stay with the Rams with 1:07 left in the third quarter. Adkins will get the inbounds pass. Bohannon will track him outside the arc. Works it inside. Tough pass there. Almost tied up was Washington. Javier Andrews had a hand on it. Davis will poke it away from Washington. Washington will recover. Gets it out top. Adkins outside the arc. Can't go to work out there. Backs away, trying to create some space for himself, I'm sure. Had Garcia on the left wing. Decided to forego that. Now they'll find Garcia. Thought about the 3-ball. He's hit a couple in the ball game thus far. Sends it off to Stewart. Stewart puts the ball on the ground, goes behind his back, works to the elbow, sends it back out. Garcia 3-ball, misses everything, and again into the Lorain High cheerleaders. So that's 2 touches for the cheerleading squad. They're doing a good job down there protecting those pads. 25, 24, 23 seconds left. The ball out tops. Davis works to the right side. Moon well outside the arc. He's not going to be shooting from out there, certainly not at this point in the ball game. Javier Andrews now to Davis on the left wing. Gets it back to Javier. 10-9-8. Who's going to be the guy here? Andrews wants to go to work. Crosses over. Sends it outside. Moon. 3-ball off the glass. No. Adkins. Rebound. 3/4 court shot. Into the cheerleading squad again. They're in the game. They're fully in the game. End of the third quarter, 51-25 in favor of the Lorain High Titans. 8 more minutes left in this one. We'll step away and be right back on the Cool Cat 1380, the Lorain County Sports Network, and WLCS TV 20.
Louis definitely has it on lock as you see him right here throwing it on his first hit. No problem. Typical Blyler fashion. Whoa!
I'm Gretchen Bleiler, Olympic silver medalist.
And I'm Louis Vito, U.S. Snowboarding Grand Prix champion.
It's taken a lot of work to get where we are in snowboarding.
You know, I love being active all year round, whether it's snowboarding, dancing, or just hanging out with your friends outdoors.
Say yes to a healthy lifestyle and no to underage drinking.
To become an all-star, go to asklistenlearn.com.
With video games, I'm always choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them.
Hey Mom, how about this one?
Which is why I love these new rating summaries. They let me know exactly what's in the game. Combat, explosions, 2 female warriors expose cleavage.
Maybe the other one's better.
Yeah. Get your free game rating summary today, and with it, the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
8 more minutes left in this one. The Titans comfortably out ahead. That was a 14-8 third quarter in favor of Rhodes. Part of that was a real slow start by the Titans. I also think that they're not looking to extend a whole lot more right now in terms of the score. You're just seeing them kind of brush up on some things. On the court right now, Titans, nice high-low give and go there between Davier Andrews and Bohannon. Bohannon's going to benefit from the assist and drop in his 8th point of the ball game. Titans really have been in control of this game since about the 4-minute mark in the first quarter. Maybe not score-wise, but certainly momentum-wise and tempo-wise. Rhodes now with the ball on their offensive end. Stewart sends it outside. Washington thought about the 3, drops inside. He's going to get bumped as he tries to work inside. That foul will be on the floor. Foul's going to be whistled on Bohannon. That's going to be his 3rd, team 3rd. Darius Mendez comes into the ball game here for the Rhodes Rams. His first appearance into the ball game. Moon's going to check him up for the Titans. He'll get the ball to start things off. Wraparound pass goes behind the back to Washington. Out top with Davis, D'ing him up. Man defense by the Titans pretty much throughout this ball game. Washington still tries to work inside. That's going to be Lawson. Works into the lane. High shot. That one altered by the presence of Harrison. He's going to get the rebound. Gives it back. Davier Andrews, Moon on the left side, takes the drive, layup partially blocked, I believe. Adkins comes down with the rebound and hands it off to Washington. Across the timeline, working to the right wing. Hesitates out there, drops it off. That'll be Mario Lawson. Lawson with a couple dribbles. Sends it back out top to Adkins. He pushes everybody back. I'm not quite sure the point in that gesture. No one moved. Lawson with a drive to the rack, has the ball poked away. It's going to stay with Rhodes. Jamar Ross comes into the ball game. 5'6" sophomore guard, averaging 2.3 points a game for Lorain High. So Coach Rossitano getting some bodies in here. 15-footer is a no-go. Outlet pass goes to Moon, and he wanted to dunk it. Not sure about that attempt. That'll get you a couple extra sprints at the next practice, I think. Out top it goes. Jamar Ross down to the baseline. Bohannon out top. Davis sends it outside. 3 ball on the way from Ross. Misses everything. Rebound. Bohannon put back no, but he'll go to the line. He was fouled. Robert Orsler pops up off the bench and will come into the ball game. Foul was called Mario Lawson. That's going to be his 3rd, team 4th. Well, Hannon's first one is good. He's got 9 now. And Orsler will come in. Moon will sit down. Deontay Skelton comes into the ball game, and Ricardo Prince come into the ball game for the Rhodes Rams. Well, Hannon's second. Boy, he can bring rain with those free throws, but they're pretty accurate nonetheless. He's got 10. So he's the 3rd Titan in double figures here in this ball game. Washington leaves it off left side. Prince sends it out top. That shot a no-go. Lawson with the 15-footer. Long rebound will pop right back out to him. Deontay Skelton, 3 ball, no. Rebound comes down. That's going to be Xavier Harrison. Gets it off to Davis. Davis wants to push. Has an open lane in front of him. Takes it to the rack. Leaves the layup short. Prince will come down with the rebound for Rhodes and then head up the other way. Works to the elbow. Had an open 15-footer. Didn't like the looks of it, I guess. Drops it off to Lawson. He wants to take the drive. He gets swatted. You can hear the foul. Harrison's going to get whistled for his 3rd, team 4th. 5:19 left. I want to invite you to stick around after the game for our LorainCounty.com post-game show. Coach and player interviews. We'll bring Coach Rossitano up here, get his thoughts on the game, a couple players as well. Coming into the ball game will be Gerald Howard. Sitting down will be Harrison. Coach Rossitano's going, okay, what's with the swat at the arm? I know what the score is, but still. Lawson hit the free throw. That'll make it 55-26. Davis will work up court, finds Orsler, gets it back out top. Davis wanted to go right, sends it off, and Orsler's going to get whistled for the travel. Came down with the stop and then jump stopped behind that and then took another step after that, and that's bound to get you that whistle. We'll head the other way. Washington with the ball, comes across the timeline. Beat up nicely out top by Jamar Ross. Sends it over to the right side. It's going to be safe from going out of bounds by Skelton. Ball on the ground. It's going to be picked up by Davis. There's a takeaway. Lob pass forward. And shot missed underneath that time. Howard could have gone straight up with that jump ball. Alternate possession is going to be Rhodes' ball. Watching the coaches here, Louis Moore still coaching up his kids, still taking advantage of the opportunity to teach in this situation. You've got to appreciate that, especially with a young club. With John Rossitano just wanting to work this one through to the end and probably get back to the practice court. Washington out top with the ball, spins away from pressure, drops it toward the baseline. Take underneath there is good for Ricardo Prince, his first 2 points of the ball game. Heading the other way, Orsler goes behind, or between his legs rather, goes up the shot. He'll get fouled, force the contact, and go to the line for a couple. Foul's going to be called on Darius Mendez. That'll be his first, team fifth. Orsler at the line, has two coming his way. Pounds the ball a few times, checks the inflation on it. A little hard on the shot. A couple subs coming in here. Damon Heisel comes back into the ball game. So does Xavier Harrison for the Titans. Coming out of the ball game is Gerald Howard, the senior, playing his last game on the court here at Lorain High. Boy, what a way to play your last game at home. Big win. Orsler's second one is good. It's his first point of the ball game. Heisel, the other senior, just came into the ball game. He'll probably be coming out here shortly. Should get a nice round of applause as well as he pokes that ball away. Might let him fork up one more three ball before everything's said and done. Looks like Moon's going to come in here in just a second. Shot inside. Washington, no. Put back is good that time. Ricardo Prince, he's got four. Head the other way. Long pass forward. Heisel into the lane. Little floating jumper in and out. No. Rebound pulled down by Rhodes, and they want to go the other way. Ricardo Prince out top. Crosses over. Works to the left block. Sends it back out top. Washington thought about the three. Then thought better of it. Steps up for a 15-footer. In and out. No good. Rebound comes down to Harrison. They talk about the fact that Rhodes is young. This Lorain High squad is not exactly old by any stretch of the imagination. Foul's going to be called on Tommy Scott, and I'm kind of with Louis Moore on this one. I'm not quite sure there was a whole lot of contact there. Sometimes you just get that foul called because you swing at it. So on this Titans squad, you've got two seniors. That's it. And to put together the season that they have and the meat grinder that is the LEL, and there's a round of applause for Damon Heisel. I've been watching him for, it seems like, ever. Free throw good down at the other end. Rhodes will work forward. Davis with that last free throw. Ball out top here. That's Tommy Scott. I think the Titans would just as soon prefer just to burn this clock up. Rhodes really isn't going to let that happen. Heading to the rack, shot blocked that time as Xavier Harrison kind of lazy with that one. Ball saved back in bounds. The Titans will have another look at it. Davis out top to Orsler. Orsler just backs away. Just under 3 minutes left in this one. And I think if Rhodes will let the Titans, they'll just sit there with the ball for the final 3 minutes. And it's not going to happen, apparently. Orsler with the ball between the circles. Left side, Moon's going to come out top. Send it off to the right side. Jamar Ross So where your old school Boston weave comes into play, you can burn off a ton of time. You'll make your players tired, but you can get away with it. A couple of tip opportunities there for the Titans, not able to get that one down. Heading down the other way, pass goes to Lawson. He's fouled, going up for the layup, and he'll go to the line for a couple with 2:26. Lawson has 3 points in the ball game. Hit a free throw earlier. That one in and out, no good. Actually, all of Lawson's points have occurred here in this second half. Second one looks a little bit better. Able to drop that one in. On the other way, Orsler hesitates outside, goes to the rack, leaves that one short. May have been bumped, no call. Heading the other way is Prince through the lane, no, fouled outside. Actually, they're going to give him shots on this one. I thought he was fouled well away from the basket. That's going to be called on Jahil Moon. That's going to be his second, team fifth. So the Titans are going to move on down the road as the number 12 seed in this bracket. Going to head over to Westlake on the 1st. Westlake, the number 6 seed. Pretty entertaining ball club. We've seen them before. Here, as a matter of fact. Free throw good for Ricardo Prince. He's got 5. Now check that 6. Hit both of those. Davis out top, drops it off to the right side. Jamar Ross inside, it'll go. Orsler layup and 2. Well, for long, the Titans may have everybody on the roster in the book here. They've certainly all played tonight. Nijan Kirkman with the ball outside the arc here for the Rhodes Rams. First time we've seen him in the ball game. Pressure inside Ricardo Prince. Here we go the other way. Moon lays it in nicely this time. Think you got the message. He's in the books now. Dunks are fun. I'm good with dunks. Right place, right time. Washington, 3 ball on the way. That one no good for Rhodes. Moon with the rebound. Gets it off to Davis. Long pass forward. Orsler wants to go to the rack. Partially blocked. Definitely blocked. We'll head the other way. Washington has his pocket pick. He'll be picked up by Jamar Ross there. Orsler, another layup attempt. Goes a little too strong off the glass. Ball tipped around. No one's claimed it yet. Harrison behind ahead. Little circus shot. Orsler with a tip. That one no good. Pulls it down. Puts it back up. Good effort by the Titans that time, staying on the glass. Under a minute left in this one. 56 seconds to be exact. 63-33 in favor of the Titans. To the right side it'll go. Kirkman spins inside. Good take there for Ricardo Prince. We haven't seen a lot of Prince in today's ball game, but he certainly seems like he's got some skills. I'm curious why we didn't see him going to the rack and getting the basket in the and one is Kevin Davis. They have 3 in the ball game thus far as they wave the basket down. And they'll call that foul, I believe, on Tommy Scott. That'll be his second, team 7th. Davis, free throw, no. Rebound comes down to Kirkman. We get it off to Washington, and it's all pretty much over but the singing. To the right side, Kirkman has his pocket pick. Davis slows down once he gets past midcourt. He'll slow it down, flip it across to the right side. Ross playing catch with Harrison. And that will be that. 15-14. Rhodes still looking like they want to bring a little bit of pressure here. Orsler's going to pop out and help out a little bit. Ross will just dribble it out, and this one is in the books. The Lorain High Titans victorious tonight, 65-35 over the Rhodes Rams in a game that, in all honesty, probably wasn't even that close. Teams will congratulate each other. The Titans are going to move on into the the sectional final against Westlake. That'll be on the 1st at 4 o'clock, so we'll be there with you for that, I'm pretty sure. Take a little bit of a break. When we come back, it'll be the LorainCounty.com post-game show. We'll check in with John Rossitano and maybe a couple of Lorain High Titans as well. That when we return on the Cool Cat 1380, the Lorain County Sports Network, WLCS TV 20.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America has important information for the millions of people with asthma. You may not know there are two main causes of asthma symptoms: airway constriction you feel and inflammation you may not feel. Learn how to better manage your asthma by treating both main causes of asthma symptoms. Treating both causes can help prevent symptoms before they even start. And preventing symptoms could mean a smoother ride. For more information, go to asthma.com.
I want to welcome you back into the gym here at Lorain High School as we get into our LorainCounty.com post-game show. I'm Don Vincent, been your play-by-play voice tonight. Good, solid win for the Lorain High Titans tonight as they took care of business and really established their ball game early on. The end of the first quarter, 23-6 in favor of Lorain High over the Rhodes Rams. Take a look at some of the numbers brought to you by Buckeye Community Bank. Scoring for the Rhodes Rams, quarters of 6-5, 14 and 10, and in truth, those 14 and 10s were kind of concessions by the Titans, although certainly the Rhodes Rams had to do the work to put the basket in the hole. They were led tonight by Jaquise Adkins with a dozen tonight. Really had to try to take up the scoring load. Ricardo Prince helped coming in off the bench with 8 points tonight. But Dariante Stewart with just 2 points tonight, typically averaging 16.5 per game. So, you know, that's certainly impactful for the Lorain High Titans. Or, I'm sorry, for the Rhodes Rams. For the Titans, boy, just so many good performances on this particular evening. As we look at the scoring, Davier Andrews off the bench with 7 points tonight. Great performance there. Kevin Davis in relief. At the end of the ball game, put in 3. Damon Heisel with 13 points in the ball game, lightened it up from 3-point range early on in the ball game. The senior certainly ends his career here at Lorain High at home on a big positive note. Jahil Moon with 2 points tonight, 5 points for Robert Orsler in the waning moments of the ball game, 8 points for Gerald Howard, a single point for Rashad Berry, and the Titans came out in that second half, really tried to feature getting it inside to the big guy. Was able to put in a point tonight, but certainly impactful otherwise in the ball game. Nazir Bohannon, nice game, double digits, 10 points coming off the bench tonight. Freshman certainly did a nice job, but leading the way throughout the ball game and really helping to establish that lead early on. Devon Andrews averaging 16.9 points a game, had 16 in the first half. That's what he ended up with. So certainly did a nice job there. The 6'4" junior certainly had something to say about this game early on. We're waiting for Coach Rossitano to stop by, and we're also hoping to talk to Eddie Williamson as well as Devon Andrews here in our post-game show brought to you by LorainCounty.com. I want to remind everybody on the Lorain County Sports Network, more basketball coming your way Thursday night on our sister station AM 1320 WOBL. Elyria Catholic versus Beechwood in Girls Division III District Semifinal action. That's a 7 o'clock tip. Pre-game will start about 20 minutes before that, so at 6:40. Pre-game will start, then a 7 o'clock tip. That's Elyria Catholic and Beechwood ladies basketball, girls Division I district semifinal action. I want to get that out for you. Last we heard, this especially for our radio audience, Avon Lake and Elyria, a couple of D1 boys schools going at it in the tournament, going into overtime, tied at 42 at the end of regulation. So those two teams going at it. Hey, what we're doing, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, see if we can't check in with John Rossitano and a couple of his players from the victorious Lorain High Titans right here on the Lorain County Sports Network and WLCS TV 20. All right, I want to welcome you back here at Lorain High School. Don Vincent now in our post-game show brought to you by LorainCounty.com. Talking with a couple of seniors here from Lorain High Titans. And first up, with the mic in his hand, Damon Heisel. Boy, first off, congratulations. Nice win to get the tournament started for you guys. Talk a little bit about your mentality coming into this ball game.
The last couple of practices we had, we was working really hard, and coach saying, like, keep going because it's going to pay off. And ever since then, I just kept my mind focused, like, come on, we can do it. And we went out here and showed it.
Obviously, you know, this was a road squad that they were missing their leading scorer. They struggled a bit tonight. You guys came out and did all the right things in terms of turning up the defensive pressure in particular, and that turned into a lot of points for you guys early on. Was that the thought process? Was that the kind of the last note on the whiteboard in the locker room?
Yeah, once we found out that their key player wasn't going to be there, that gave us more of an advantage to play as good as we did. But even if he was there, we would have played the same way tonight.
As you get into this tournament, do things change for you? Does your mentality change? Does the team change?
Yes, we got to build a little more momentum because this next game against Westlake is going to be real tough. They kind of got us the first time, but this time it won't happen.
All right, so you already got your game plan and your game face going, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you got another 10 minutes to enjoy this one?
Yes, sir.
Then it's the next game.
Right.
How about your last game here on the court at Lorain High? How nice was it to go out on top like this?
It was really special because a lot of my family members was here.
Yeah.
And I was healthy enough, and I was scoring, and I was playing great defense, so it was pretty good. I liked it.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight. We're going to get your teammate in here. Let's pass it on down the way. And Gerald Howard, you and I have talked before. Let's get that up there and talk a little bit more. Nice win for you guys today. Thanks. You happy with this one?
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about this one. And again, you know, we talked about the defense early on. Your defense interiorly just as strong.
Right. Because even though that they didn't have their best player, we still had to come out because it's the first game of the tournament. We got to build momentum and keep them going towards the next game. Every game counts.
As a senior leader on this squad, are you talking to the guys, kind of reminding them, look, this is a one-out deal. We've got to finish here.
Yeah, and every day coach say that we playing for me and Heisel. They play for us, and they give us they all.
Did you feel that support today?
Yeah, of course.
They pick you up?
Yes, every day.
I want you to talk a little bit about your experiences playing on this court as well, and kind of wrapping up your senior season at home.
It was nice, even though I didn't really get to score as much as I wanted to because of my last game, but getting this win with my team, it felt good. At least we didn't take an L on my last game on the on the last game of the court.
It's always nice to go out on top at home, right?
Yes.
Westlake's coming up next, and you know, Damon mentioned the fact that
they got us.
They got you, and that was a tough game. I was here for that game, and I'm sure you guys remember it pretty well. What are your thoughts going at them again?
I think that we are a much better team than what we was at the beginning of the season when they got us, and we gonna bring it. And we got our player Devon Andrews back, so it should be an even better comp. And I think we're gonna take it.
You've got to go over to their place this time. You had them here the last time. Does that matter at all to you?
Not at all. As long as we play hard, it don't matter where we play.
All right. I would tend to agree with that. I think you guys get out. You're a much more athletic team than I think you were earlier in the season. There seems to have been kind of a gelling of the squad. You guys seem to have come together even a little bit more than you were earlier. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, because we just bring it in practice, and as we bring it in practice, we get closer and closer. And as we get closer and closer, we build team chemistry, and we just be together. We play as one.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on this win. Looking for more good stuff from you down the line, and hopefully we'll catch up with you in Westlake and have another chat. How's that sound?
Right. Sound good to me.
All right. Very good. I want to say thank you to the Lorain High Titans. And again, that was Gerald Howard spending a couple minutes with us here. I was hoping to get Coach John Rossitano to join us. He must be tied up talking to a number of other folks as he wraps up the home season here at Lorain High with this blended tournament and the first two rounds of the tournament going to home court sites. Titans are going to move on down the road to Westlake to take on the Demons. Certainly a challenge for both of those squads moving into the tournament here. So that will be Saturday at 4. I want to invite everybody to check that one out as well. Again, your final here today, the Lorain High Titans. Big win over the Rhodes Rams, 65-35. For everyone on the sports crew, on our WOBL side of things, Super Dave and Gene Briscoe, thank you so much. Joe Bach here for TV 20. Pleasure to join you every doggone time that we have the opportunity. Pleasure to join you. Thank you to Brian Corey. Thank you to the players and coaches for all of their efforts on the court. And thank you especially for spending your evening with us, watching great high school basketball, listening to great high school basketball. For everyone on the sports crew, I'm Don Vincent. Good night from Lorain.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS. To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.